PDF full compositing. So all of those wonderful things you can do in terms of compositing in applications like Photoshop, the basic operations of those things are built into the core of Mac OS X. Full alpha channel and the original Pixar compositing operators upon which all of this stuff is based.
And lots of really cool effects.
Yes. Yeah, it's really hot. So this is going way beyond the stuff that of those of you that were Next Step developers had. It's really hot. Then, on top of this foundation, we have 3 application environments that are part of Mac OS X. Oh, actually, no. We have a demonstration.
We're going to do a demo.
We have a demo.
So
we
let's
want
get
to
our
show you
friend
the
Phil
core
back
stuff.
out here. The graphic stuff, you know, Steve and I can stand up here and describe it, but words can't do justice to what can really be done. So you have to see it. So let's have Phil show it to us.
Hi again.
Hi, Phil.
The Quartz is a really powerful graphics model. It lets you very quickly and easily take advantage of some very powerful new features in all your applications. If you build on top of these new application environments, you're going to get these benefits. I have 2 quick, simple applications we've created just for demonstration purposes to show you some of the things you'll get. This first application, called Layer View, it brings up a background. In this case, I'm using a TIFF background. I'm going to just start typing right on top of this TIFF background. And what you see is gorgeous anti-alias text with a drop shadow. That drop shadow actually has a blur effect on it and is semi-transparent, all happening dynamically on the fly.
It's kind of hard to see, I think, if you're sitting out in the audience, especially in the back, but it's truly amazing, especially from here, where you can see the clouds peeking through partially the drop shadow of like the L or the O. It's just amazing.
Now let me open up from a folder on my desktop a graphic.
By the way, it's also blurred.
Now on my desktop I have a graphic. This is a PDF file. I'll drop it right in and instantly imaged. It's incredibly fast at taking PDF documents and imaging them in. Now you notice that graphic also has a drop shadow. So on the fly, it's cropped it beautifully. It's added a semi-transparent drop shadow with a blurred edge.
And it's anti-aliased.
And it's anti-aliased. All the line art is anti-aliased on the fly.
All on the fly.
All on the fly.
Automatically by Quartz. Now, for example, let's just take a selection here. If you could see it out there, the selection itself, that selected region has a drop shadow. The selected region has transparency.
And blur, and anti-aliasing, and everything.
It's just easy and fast, and this is the kind of stuff you can add to your applications building on top of Quartz. That's one demonstration. Let me show you one other we've quickly put together here to show off some of the compositing features. We call this the playground, or PDF playground. And in here, this is a PDF file we just brought in. Move it around. I can resize it. I can rotate it. And it's all done with a PDF file. But the fun comes in when I bring in a second PDF file. Let's take this one of the world. You can move that around as well. You can resize it. You can rotate it. I've heard there's some people here from Australia. I know you see the world a little differently. Yeah, there he is. And the real power is built-in alpha channel and transparency. You can start to see.
And remember, these are all PDFs.
So Quartz is an incredibly rich imaging system. Allows you to build into your application gorgeous anti-alias text and graphics. Allows you to composite them, use transparency, have a lot of cool special effects like drop shadow. These are the kind of things we hope from all of your great Mac apps as you build on top of Quartz.
Thanks, Phil.
This stuff was actually invented by Pixar like 15 years ago. And this will be really the first time that the full set of compositing stuff has ever been built into an operating system. And we're very, very excited about it. And what it basically means is that we and you can build software that have this kind of functionality without having to reinvent the wheel ourselves. Very high performance stuff built right into the core imaging and Windows system model of the operating system itself. Okay, there are 3 application environments built on top of this very powerful Darwin and Quartz foundation. And the first one of those we used to call Blue Box, and now we call Classic. And Classic is an environment that runs existing Mac apps without modification. However, you do not get any new features. You don't get that fancy Quartz stuff we just showed you. You don't get memory protection in the sense that if you're running 3 or 4 Classic apps and one of them bombs, all of the Classic apps will bomb. It won't take down the rest of your system, but all the Classic apps will bomb. So this is a way to run existing apps where the developers, either went sailing and aren't going to rev their apps, or, if there's an app that hasn't been revved that you need to use. So that's what the Classic environment is, and it's part of Mac OS X. But far more exciting than that is the Carbon environment. Carbon is something that we announced at last year's developers conference. And Carbon was a way to go into the Mac APIs and clean them up after 15 years of some barnacles. And we've done that. We've cleaned up the Carbon APIs, and they're wonderful. And it's very, very fast to what we call carbonize your application, to where it runs on Carbon. And Carbon allows carbonized apps to get all of the new features. A carbonized app, again, very little work, all of a sudden pops alive, has full preemptive multitasking, runs in fully protected memory, gets access to all the new features of the system with a very small amount of work. Now, we put an app on the web a year ago called the Carbon Dater, which basically you could download and run against your app, and it would tell you how well it matched Carbon. And there have been over 5,500 apps that have been Carbon dated in the last year, and the average coverage